Hello, good evening. Susan Wilkinson Cox here from Minding the Soul with our Talk Tuesday. Let me know that you're here. Give me some comments, give me a thumbs up, say hello and get involved tonight. We've got an amazing lady here who's had an amazing journey going to talk with us tonight, called Claire Owen from Soberholics, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that shortly. Wanted to remind you a little bit about me. So remember that I'm here to help people like you, here to help people reconnect, heal past trauma and buried pain so that you can live a better, healthier, happier life and make better choices. So, if you're in a position where you're feeling stuck or you need a little bit of help or someone to chat to, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and give me a call. You're not on your own. Also wanted to tell you what is coming up. So we have meditation tomorrow morning at 6:30, but I have to be out very early, so it won't be live. It will be a recording, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it nonetheless. On Mondays, we've got affirmations. So affirmation is about affirming a positive statement, which is self-empowering. So do pop over to the page and have a look at that and practice them. We've got on the third Wednesday of the month, mindfulness meditation. I'm really trying to get this group built again on Zoom because I know a lot of you want to do it in person, but that's impossible due to the conditions. So drop me a line, get in touch with me if you find this might be interested. If you want to find out how meditation can change your life or enhance your life, drop me a line. And next week on Talk Tuesday, we will be talking to Luke Phillips about writing a book and publishing your own book. So hello for all the people that are coming on. Share this as well if you like afterward. That would be great. So we have got a beautiful lady called Claire Owen from Soberholics. She helps people through a 5-step program to stop relying on alcohol to fuel their busy lives. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm going to bring Claire on in a moment. But if you feel yourself or anybody else is relying on alcohol, or you feel that alcohol is becoming a daily habit or a little bit too often, or you're drinking more, share stories with us. Share if it's impacted your life. I know in my life, I know that, my family are heavy drinkers, and I know for sure, that I lost my brother through that and my stepfather through that. So, it is dear to my heart. So come on board and share yours. But anyway, in the meantime, thank you for joining us. And I will bring in Claire. Claire, welcome.
Hi, hello. Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Susan. I'm fine.
Lovely.
I'm very good.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. I wanted to first kick off with asking you to tell us a little bit about your journey and how you came to obviously create Soberholics, your company.
Yeah, okay. Right, well, I'm Claire. I'm 46 now. I've got 2 young boys. And like most mums, I was a typical drinker, drinking at home. I think from being a party girl in my younger days, then not being able to go out with my friends, I made up for it by drinking at home. And I think the wine, I went through a phase of the 3 bottles at £10 from Asda, and then you buy a box because you would run out, and it just got to the point where that was my life. And I created a job for myself because I started my own business at this stage in my life, so I didn't have to go back to my office job, which was brilliant, but it meant that, the wine could be opened earlier. And I think I just got myself into a little bit of a lifestyle where that was what I did, but I wasn't any different to any of my friends. We were, I didn't stand out at the school gates or anything that I was stinking of booze. I was functioning. I was running a really successful business, and I was trusted with rent because I, as well as having our own properties that were rented out, I started working on behalf of other landlords. So in my local community, I was collecting rent, so I was trusted with money. So I didn't want to appear to be having a drink problem. And And to be honest, I was having a good time. It wasn't really affecting me. If anything, I think it would affect my tiredness and my energy levels, but I didn't really connect the two. As a mum of two young boys, I would be exhausted, all the time. And wine was my way of giving myself a little bit of a pick-me-up to get through the bedtime and the bath time routine. Like most of us, I'd be sitting there putting a picture on Facebook, just joking and with my friends. I'm trying to paint the picture that I wasn't in the gutter, it wasn't like that. And at this stage in my life, a friend came back and she was looking for a flat, and her marriage had broken down. And when she came into my life, I realized that drinking was it was higher on her priorities than it had been when I'd known her previously. And I couldn't figure out whether she was drinking and relying on the drink because of the relationship breakdown. Mm-hmm. And I gave her a job, and, she moved into one of the flats. So I had regular contact with her, and it soon became apparent that it was actually because of the drink why the marriage had suffered. And I think that made me start looking at my own drinking. I knew that I had a lot in common with this girl, and if it could happen to her, I knew it could happen to me. And it just turned from that was all she was interested in doing, really. She wasn't bothered about going on a night out and getting dressed up anymore. All of that had gone. She wasn't interested, really. And it scared me, if I'm honest. It really scared me. And looking back, she did me a massive favor, actually, a huge favor. And I started my research first to try and help her, but secretly thinking about myself as well. Yeah. And I think once I started trying then to cut down, that's when it got into a more difficult position, because I was aware of it. And I think it wasn't until I started to cut down did I then realize, actually, this is bloody hard. Yeah. And I think that's when I would be on the phone to her saying, Jesus, it's everywhere. Because it's like when you're going to buy a yellow car, all you see is yellow cars, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And the soap operas the people would be mentioning it on Instagram, everywhere. At the shop where I lived next door to where I lived at the time, so we would have the 3 bottles of wine we were planning for the weekend. We'd open them early on the Friday night. It'd be 9 o'clock and we'd be under our last bottle and we'd be saying, we're going to the shop to get some more. And when you're halfway, when you're 2 bottles of wine in, you don't come back with 1 bottle of wine.
No. Yeah.
So we'd be waking up and we've drank 5 bottles of wine. How did that happen? And then the self-loathing and then, of course, you feel rough and then somebody mentions, are you having a drink tonight? And you're back on it again. And the cycle would just continue like that. And I just felt like the worst mom in the world. I really started to look at myself and I didn't like what I saw. It was horrible. Because then I could hear myself creating reasons to drink, inviting people over, and turning like the simplest things. And I remember my friend's washing machine broke down and I said, it's all right, come to my house, do your washing machine, bring wine.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It turned into a piss up. That was it. The rest of the day was a write-off. We were getting pissed. And, then out come the fags. So you're standing in the garden. And it was just like that all of the time. Sorry, I don't know. And so I think from that, thinking through my friend's eyes as well, I wouldn't have gone to AA. And I certainly wouldn't have spoke to my GP. If my GP had in my notes that I had a problem with my alcohol, that could affect whatever else I want to do in my life. I don't even know what that is yet, but you just imagine that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I have to sort this out on my own, and I found it really hard. And I think I was online and I was Googling after another fad diet had failed because I was probably eating kebabs and drinking loads of wine. And I just didn't know why it wasn't working. Yeah. And I came across this fitness instructor online, and she'd quit drinking for a year. And I couldn't believe it. I'd never really considered quitting altogether before. I just wanted to control this beast, right? I didn't want to quit. I was having a good time.
Yeah.
And I think and I know now, because I did my research and I've done voluntary work at rehab centers and I've met loads and loads of people. And what I was feeling right then was I wanted something, but I didn't want it at the same time. So I was denying myself something that I still desired.
Yeah.
I still thought that this wine was the answer to all of the things to all of the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And until I could change that, then, and I just knew that I had to stop from that day, and that's when that journey started, and in figuring out that it's about having something bigger to aim for and something else that sets you on fire, and so that wine becomes insignificant. And trial and error and trying as many things as you can, and really looking at yourself, looking at what's important to you, what your values are, and your vision for yourself in the next 12 months, the next 5 years. And I think I've used all of those activities from all of the personal development books that I've read over all of the years, and never had the time or the energy to implement because I was pissed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or I was hungover. I was planning the next session of getting pissed. So it was like, oh, that's a great idea, Brené Brown, but no.
One thing that you said there, you said you was functioning. So to the outside world, and I think that's something everybody should know, because people often have that stigma where they look at somebody who sits in a doorway with a bottle of cider or wine or whatever, and they assume that is an alcoholic or a person that has a drink problem or is relying on drinking somewhere. And that isn't the case at all. Very much like you and I. The other thing that you said I wasn't in the gutter. And the interesting bit that you found it hard to cut down,
and harder.
And that you were looking for those reasons to drink. So I like that, and I'm really glad you shared that with us, because we have a few comments coming in here, and Kerry's come on board and she's saying it sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely sounds familiar.
It is, and I think one of the phrases that I say is I was like, lots of the binge drinkers in the UK, I didn't think I had a problem until I tried to stop. And that's the thing, it wasn't until this friend shone a light on what I was doing, and she didn't turn up, preachy saying, look at me. I came to that conclusion from looking at it myself. Thinking I couldn't figure out where the line was between my fun and her problem.
Interesting, isn't it, actually? How you also sort of were hiding behind her, if you like, in that research, not ready at that time.
It's not for me, I'm my friend.
So it's a reality. But then how long was that time before you got used to saying to myself, no, I'm doing this for me?
I think, to be honest, I did also do it because one of us in our relationship had to do it, and it got to the point where one of us had to be the grown-up. And we both come from controlling marriages, right? 10 years previous. And so it's interesting because I feel like my first husband was a father figure to me. So he kept the brakes on me. And then when I split up with him, it was like, whoa, party. And then I met my husband. Now he was in a similar situation, where he was brand new to being single, and we just went wild. And we had a great time. And it was like the kids came along and we managed to party around them. We got a caravan, so we could go to the caravan, crazy night out, and have a drink there. And it wasn't until I was kind of, one of us has to be the grown up, and unfortunately I decided it should be me. And I never thought for 1 minute that I would be able to quit. Honestly, sitting here thinking, oh, that's great, Claire, that sounds great, but it's not for me. I can't quit. Because it was ingrained in every single area of my life. I didn't know nobody who didn't drink. Except my grandma, and she had died 10 years earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had to start again. I had to just start again. But it was really interesting, because you got to find out who is really coming to see you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
about yourself and about the people in your life. And you know, and once you get the benefits, and for me the first thing was sleep. After about 10 days, because people think, like I did, if I had 2 days without drinking, that there was no alcohol in my system, but it takes ages for it to come out your system completely.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether that's in your mind or not, but it takes a bloody long time. And I think it was between 10 and 14 days when the quality of my sleep improved. And that is just such a massive knock-on effect, because if you have better sleep, you have more energy to do the things you love.
Yeah.
You're more productive. So you feel more confident. You're not hiding behind them emails that you haven't opened.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and this is a snowball. It's the first domino to knock over. Your relationships improve.
Absolutely. Let me just read a couple, just hello to some of the ladies coming in here. So hi Diane, hi Kerry, hi Wanna, got Claire here as well. So hi Claire and Sharon. So Kerry says, yeah, it sounds familiar, and I think we all have been there, but I think it's when it starts to take a hold, and this is a great time for everybody listening to really kind of start thinking about themselves and listening to what Claire has to say further. But Claire, another Claire on here, say, I came from can't see your face now. I came from a family of heavy drinkers. My mother was a horrible alcoholic that mentally abused me, and I too was drinking, but suffered years of depression, and it came to the point where it was making me low, angry, and I decided that to give it up. I didn't want to turn into that person, so I changed. Firstly, I hated being around drinkers because I thought they were going to be the same, but I worked through that. Well done to you, because you think drinking would make you feel better. Okay, so that's Claire saying, and Sharon just saying good evening. Diana's saying, I came from a background of heavy drinkers, my whole family actually. Luckily, I have managed to have meals at home without having to need a glass of wine here and there, other than when I go out to dine with them. Hi Sharon, great to see you on board. So yeah, interesting. That there's so many of us that have either come from those backgrounds, know somebody, and it's been quite close to our lives. And even if we're honest, a lot of us we're all drinking too much, and particularly now, you know, there's been a stat out by the Institute of Alcoholic Studies saying that the 80% of women in the last 12 months drank. You know, and that's gone up 30% between 2009 and 2015. So just interesting how that's being monitored and things are changing, isn't it?
I think one of the things to mention is, two things about the family, the history of alcoholism in your family. I think you can look at that in two ways. It can be like learned behavior, where you think, oh, that's what my parents did to cope, so that's what I'm going to do to cope. Yeah. Or continue the other way, where you do not want that for your family, right? Mm-hmm. But interestingly, my history with that was actually everything was a bit more relaxed and a bit more fun when my parents were having a drink.
Yeah.
It was, especially my dad. And I think because I lost my dad when I was young, I think when I think of my youth, I think of that. I think of him. And if he was going to work and there was no drinking, it was very quiet, and we all had to sit very quietly and sensibly. But if he was drinking, it was all a bit fun, and it was tickle fights, and you know. So I think it can go. And maybe I felt like that I've wanted to create that warm atmosphere for my kids. But interestingly, when I speak to them now, they much prefer me sober.
Yeah.
And it makes me hard. I think I stopped when they were the right age, so they don't have like loads of memories. My stepson, who's older, can remember me holding my youngest in my arms in a pizza shop. Two complete strangers going to fight, and I decided with my 1-year-old to stand in between them.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of this. And I mean, I wouldn't have been wanting to fight them. I would have wanted them to calm down. I'm not a fighter drunk. I'm more of a lover drunk. I would have been trying to make them make friends and thinking of. But for my stepson, who was about 9 or something at the time, to watch me who's he's grown up with his baby brother do that, like I would never have put myself in that position if I was sober. Yeah. You know, so
what I was going to say to you then is when you just said, what did you just say to me then? The association with the father. So sometimes we have an association with something that makes us feel warm and fuzzy or whatever. So,
yeah.
And I think
And I
in
think,
your program you uncover that, don't you? That's on.
oh, right, that would be interesting. I would love to find out more about that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that takes me back, that made me feel close to my dad now that he's gone, you know, that feeling. And I think it's been, I mean, I've grieved for my father all over again.
Yeah.
He died 24 years ago, and because I would never have said that I was taking a drink to numb the pain of my father being not around. I wouldn't have made that connection. But I think there must have been something there, because you numb the good feelings and the bad feelings, don't you?
You don't realise it at first until later on.
But I don't think it was a bad thing once I lean into it. Once I went there, it was actually quite healing.
Yeah.
You know, to look at it again and process everything again as an adult.
Yes, yeah, definitely. We've got Kerry just says, I think women generally drink more as they have more pressure in society. What do you think about that question?
I'm looking at the profile picture.
Oh yeah. That's what is it with us having cocktails?
In one of the sessions that I do, I think it's in session number 4, it's a session called Alcohol and Women, and it actually looks in detail at why this is. And what happened was the alcohol industry, the marketing people looked and they realized that they weren't tapping into to women. It was when women started earning more, you know, like in the 80s and the 90s, and we started, you know, going for those higher earning jobs.
Yeah.
In the alcohol industry decided that they needed to target us as I suppose as an avatar, if you like.
Yeah.
And so they spent lots of money advertising things like Cardi and all of these things beside handbags and fashion magazines. And so it's just turned into like almost a status symbol. And if you think about it, it used to be like wine and Prosecco, but now it's 40% gin. It's gin, you know, and when you're drinking at home, don't tell me that you're doing your 25 measure, you know, it just goes, doesn't it? A couple of bits of ice, that's it, it's gone. You need a great big bottle.
And something you said to me before, and then maybe we'll go on, take some more questions afterwards, but go on to your program. But you said to me that, I loved it when you said this, and this sticks in my mind when we first spoke, that they have the drinks industry have glamorized alcohol for women. So tell us a little bit from that sort of side of things.
It's been advertised. If you take any of the beautiful magazines, you know, like the thick magazines that you get, and in there the handbags and the expensive designer jewelry and stuff, and then there'll be within that it like goes alongside that, and then some of the bottles of like Chambord and that, they look like they should be lined in perfume counters, don't they?
Yeah.
Like it, that it's really cheap. I love the bottle. You want to stick a candle in it and keep it.
Yeah.
And then there's all these other things. I've got one. Oh, I've got it there. Oh, I usually have one, and it's like a thing that you've probably all got it in your kitchens. Them signs in the kitchen and the tea towels that tell that would deserve it. And actually, women are the worst enemy, because they do it to each other. You're marking it to each other because you're sitting with your glass going, look at me, I deserve it. But you forward that and think, well, in 5 hours' time, when you're lying staring at the ceiling, do you deserve that? Do you deserve to feel groggy tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. But tell us about Soberholics. This is from your amazing journey, and you're being thanked for sharing that. We'll talk about.
Well, I just knew once I started to feel the benefits. If I had a friend who'd gone through this journey and hadn't shared it with me, I'd be furious, because I feel like I've got the secret. This is the secret. This is what we all want. It's not a perfect relationship. It's not a perfect body. It's not a mansion and a car and the designer handbags. You just want to feel good. You want to feel you. And honestly, I mean, I've got crazy hair. I've gone grey and shaved the side, and I couldn't care what anyone thinks. I never used to be like that. I didn't used to be like that. I used to be wrapped up in all the, what do they think? What do they think? And, you know, it's it's addictive as well, because once you share, which I did on Facebook, and I think this is where the business idea came from. I shared on Facebook how great I was feeling, and the amount of messages I had of people who said, I want to feel like that, or I want to do the same. How are you doing it? And honestly, once you get going with the program, and what's in the program is everything that I now believe in, and it's all about finding out who you are and what makes you tick. And it's about going back to before you drank, and what movies did you watch? What music did you listen to? What did you believe you could do, when you were a teenager? Or earlier than that, when you were 8. What did you want to be when you were 8? And that's possible. All of it's possible, but this thing that you're drinking is depressing you, and it's ruining your sleep and your energy and your relationships and everything. Yeah. So pack it in. So the program, I knew people wouldn't talk to us initially, right? So yes. I sat with my husband and I was saying there's like 5 stages I feel I've gone through. And then we came up with these different names, and they were developed over time along with very creative people who have spent a lot of money on this business to make sure that it's accessible and that people can see where they are in their journey. Oh, look at that. That's there. Right, it's a bit crinkly. So, is it back?
Yeah.
Well, you can see, get the gist. So these are my girls, right?
Yep.
These are my they're called my 5 pals. And this is this each lady represents a stage I've been through in my journey. So this is me when I was stuck Susie. She doesn't even know she's got a problem. She doesn't know that drink is the reason for all our problems that's going on in her life. She hates her boss. She hates her job. She hates everything. So she's got her own character and her own story. And in the program, you get to look at her case study. Yeah. And you will relate to her, because from what I've said tonight, you relate. And that's when you're at this stage. Now, the people who come on my free group are no longer stuck, because they know that they've identified that maybe they need to look at this, right? So then they move on to become observant, like Ollie. So Ollie needs to now observe other people who are sober so she can visualize what that will look like for her. So at the minute, Susie has no idea what sober looks like, but Ollie is now looking, and she's thinking, well, actually, maybe I could have a bit of her life and a bit of her life. And the only way you can do that is by coming into these groups online and meeting other people who are going through it, who are a bit ahead of you. And soon there'll be people behind you, and you'll be helping them, and then you'll be a soberholic as well. And it just grows like that. That's my vision. And it's like Weight Watchers or Slimming World. You can dip in, dip out. You don't have to sit. It's your sober goal. Now, there will be people who need me to grab them and say, right, this is what you need to do. And there'll be other people who just want to keep an eye on it. Like Slimming World. Yes. If you have a cake and you're going to Slimming World, you don't never go back. So it's no shame, there's no fail, there's no fear, there's no judgment. This is your journey. And if you're drinking 1 glass of wine and you wish you were drinking none, then you're welcome. And if you're, waking up and putting whiskey on your cornflakes, you're welcome. Yeah. And once you get to this stage, this is Bessie, and Bessie is bold, and she's taken action. She knows, because she's been observing what she wants her life to look like, and now she's going to say, right, today's my day 1. And if you notice, she might mess up, something might happen, and she might go back to observing for a little while, and then she'll take action again, right? Yep. But she doesn't fail. She doesn't just run away and never come back. She's still here. She's still committed. She's still learning to drive, if you like. Just because you crunch the gear doesn't mean that you failed. Keep going. And then you become engaging, like Elsie. Now, Elsie's going to the party. She's having the difficult conversations with her friends. She's trying all the alcohol-free alternatives. She's dipping her toe into her sober life. And then you become rebalanced, like Riley, and you don't care. Look at her. She doesn't care. It's like going to a party where they serve olives and you don't eat olives. It doesn't matter to you anymore. Well, I don't know how long it's going to take you to get there. It took me about 2.5 years, 3 years. Wow. Of doing this full time every single day.
Wow. The character amazing. I mean, and the journeys they go on, a great way to help others learn and understand as well, because obviously we've got many ways of learning, but really to connect with that Susie and Riley and everybody else, definitely. Absolutely.
And it's just a visual way that people can see that it isn't a black and white. It's not you're drinking and you're not drinking, you fail. I don't want any fail. It's not AA. It's not like that. It's not that way at all. It's just you and your goal with as much support or as little support as you want. And activities are lush. They'll help you in every single area of your life.
Yeah. So the activities are in the program for people to go along with.
So you go through the activities. What I say to people, you don't have to stop drinking. You can just get in there and do. They're like life coaching activities. It's the cheapest way of ever having a life coach, because you look at your values, you do a vision board, and it's all. I mean, some of these words, you go, "What the hell is that?" You know, I really take it to the basics. You know, this isn't. It's really to the basics to explain to you that if you have something bigger to focus on. When you're sat there and you're thinking, shall I have that glass of wine? No, I've got that thing I want to do tomorrow. And slowly it becomes less important in your life, in these other things, and then your life is full. Whereas at the moment you think, well, if you take that away, well, what will I have? I won't have anything.
Yeah.
But actually that's what it's about. We're going to build you a life before you give it up almost. That's the plan.
Putting the foundations in and then finally take off that coat.
Yeah. And then you look at them girls. So you go through the program. It's about 15 activities. It's good to do probably 2 activities a week. And then when you get through that, you kind of look at each of the case studies and you watch them ladies go through it. So you find out what happens to each of them. And I can change that. I can add to that. It's all in there, but I can put more in. And I'm just so excited about it because I feel like it's just the beginning. I mean, it could go. I see loads with it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Lovely. Brilliant. So what else would you like to add? Let me just tell you what so somebody else is saying. It's a long one, so I'm not going to put it. It covers all your face. So mentioning I think. Goodness, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So Wanna says, wow, amazing story. I hadn't realised how much layers and how deep and subtle it can affect. I don't drink, but both my parents do, and they started to drink even more since they retired, and now they are also enclosed together, and it made things more tense for them. So they are looking for escapes in alcohol. Unfortunately, they are at a stage where they don't seem to see any issues or danger in the habit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
and I think that I'm designing something which I'm going to be promoting in the next week called a habit tracker. And it's just a dead simple wall planner, and you can put other things on there as well to mark down how often you are drinking. Because a lot of the time, like I never used to track out when I was drinking and when I wasn't. You know, before I actually ever processed it, I knew I was drinking more than I wanted to be, but I couldn't have told you off the top of my head how many units I'd had. But if you just track it, what I try to tell people to do is to journal, and in your journal, make note of your menstrual cycle as well, because that massively used to affect me, drinking or not drinking. And then you'd make note of, are you in a good mood, a bad mood, and see, because trust me, the alcohol is a depressant. It will affect your mood, and it might not affect your mood. Like, don't think of it like you're going to drink it and then it's going to make you depressed. You're drinking it, and it might make you feel depressed the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's different.
And then there's a cost, isn't there? So if you're drinking a bottle of wine every night, and that bottle of wine costs you £5, it's £25 at the end of the week, £100 at the end of the month. And, money's tight as it is for everybody. So, there's lots of knock-on effects. And I think what you're saying about was interesting when you said it may not be today or tomorrow when you're drinking it, but it's 3 days later. So, but what people don't, association again, you're not associating Monday drinking with Wednesday's depression or lack of motivation or things like that. So it's you're right, noting it down.
What you don't know, as in most of us, which I didn't, the only time I didn't drink was when I was pregnant. But obviously I was pregnant, so there was other things going on in my body. But I had never been alcohol-free as an adult, And like that childlike, fun, just feeling like just everything's lighter. Everything is lighter.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, obviously, the only thing that frustrates me now is that there's not enough people who are sober for me to chat to, because everyone's just a bit,
Yeah.
and you go, oh, I'm having a drink. And you go,
yeah, absolutely.
it is frustrating.
Oh,
I wanted to say the other thing there, though, from the journaling as well, to take it the next stage is, so you've written down when you're drinking, you've written down your mood, but also why you're drinking. So if you say, oh, I'm going to have a drink tonight, Claire, and I go, oh, you're right, why? And you'll say, well, I don't know, you know, so you're mindfully drinking. And then you might go, well, no, I deserve it. So you can put in the box, I reward myself with wine. I reward myself with wine. That's what I think I deserve. And really think about that. Like, that's what you're having. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're making a note, or you want to change the channel. A lot of people, like, I call it change the channel. So you come home from work and you want to change from work mode to relax home mode. And like, sometimes you need to think, well, what else could you do? What is there something else that you do that wouldn't affect the rest of your life? Because you must have a reason why you want to quit, a reason. And it's about having that reason of why do you want to quit? Why? Is it big enough? It's got to be a big enough, a why strong enough to make you cry.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I think also when you start going through those stages, I suppose you get to a point where you're saying, well, why are you drinking? But what else could I be doing instead of? Because you're just numbing yourself out and sitting there and just drinking aimlessly, one after the other, where you could be doing something, you know, like ironing, cleaning the cupboard, whatever it is you need to do, reading a book, educating yourself, so many more things to fill your life with. And I know on your page I did see where something you sent me where, you know, you started to do more things like your rock climbing, your walking, and
I've tried loads of things. And you don't have to commit to one thing. I mean, I've never been good at that. It's saying, right, I'm going to do that every Wednesday for the rest of my life. But it just makes you more open-minded to other things and trying different ways. And then you meet different people with different outlook. And actually, not everyone's sitting at home drinking wine. I thought everyone was doing what I did, but they're not. There's a massive community of people who aren't relying on alcohol and who are having a jolly good time without it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about drinking, and we're talking about people completely giving it up and people wanting to cut down. So do you also with people that just want to cut down and get in control of it and just drink socially or on special occasions?
I think for anybody who comes in wanting to, you know, part with their good money to change their relationship with alcohol, I would be doing them a disservice if I said, right, I'm going to help you cut down. I think from my experience, which is all I can talk on, is my experience, is that you need to quit for a length of time to try life without alcohol and then introduce it back in. And I mean, if you think about anything like wheat or dairy, that's what they tell you to do with that as well, don't they? To remove it from your life, see how you feel, and then bring it back in bit by bit and see. But I think most people, if they've come to speak to me in the first place, will have a much better life without it. And I think it's about learning to live without it, really, not about how can I like it just a little bit. It feels like you want to be a little bit pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, you're always going to have this thing, like, what is the rule of cutting down? Is it like, who makes up the rule, and does the rule change? You know, does it change depending on who you're with?
Yeah.
It's so hard because Claire, who would sit here now and say, I'm only going to have one glass of wine. When I've had one glass of wine, I'm a different Claire. I want another glass of wine.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I get it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think the program you put together is absolutely super. I think it's a completely different approach, definitely. And I think, like you say, from the AA, the shame of going to the AA and standing up, I'm an alcoholic, and, you know, being seen. And this is a much more private way, a more dignified way of somebody getting control of their life without being labelled or stigmatised with something. it's just a journey. So I think it's something very new. I've never heard of anything like this. Well, I do know somebody else something similar, but I like the way you've used the characters to sort of take them through the stages so people can really identify, you know, with each and every one of them. So I think it's brilliant. I really think it's absolutely amazing, you know. So before we kind of draw it to a close, is there anything you'd like to add? I think all the girls have asked their questions. They're identifying with it. They're thanking you for coming on board. I've put your contact details in there. Definitely.
Thank you for the opportunity. I've enjoyed myself. I could talk about it all day long.
Absolutely. But no, I mean, it's been great. And thanks for sharing. This will stay on my page and be shared by many. And hopefully, you know,
Can I end on a really serious note, though? Because I know that I turn up and I'm always light and bright and positive, and that's, you know, I'm not putting it on, but it's on purpose because I need to keep that lightness. My friend who inspired me died at the beginning of lockdown. I couldn't help her. She was 52 years old, and without going in, you know, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't nice, and that's what really inspires me every single day to keep turning up. And there is a very serious message underneath all of this as well. But I just want to talk about the happiness and the positivity. And my mission is to rebrand sober, so more women feel like they can choose to be sober. They don't have to be sober because they've got an issue. They're choosing it because it looks good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels pretty good. It really does, because the people you inspire and the ripple effect that it has just gives me goosebumps. Really does. Absolutely. So thank you for helping me get my message out there, Susan. I've forever in your debt. I appreciate it.
Message. I'm not going to put it up because it's long and it'll cover your face. He says, from Diane, she says, I agree with you both. Keeping busy, get out for a walk, form a relationship with self-love, eating healthier, drinking a certain amount of water a day, having a circle of friends who are positive and staying away from negativity, knowing triggers, being able to reach out to someone who feels you can trust most definitely helps. Thank you, Claire, for sharing. So.
It's difficult because your friends sometimes, your friends will probably be drinking the same amount as you. So don't be worried if you speak to your friends and they try to make you feel better by just saying, oh, don't worry about it, you know, you're fine, because that makes sense for them. But that's why you can reach out to somebody else online, on Facebook, and, you know, just so you've got it right in your head before you go to your friends, because often they just want you to feel better. And the only way they know to make you feel better is to have a drink. Yeah, they can't imagine you without it, you know, and your friends might change. And how inspiring could it be, you know, for you to be the first one to encourage someone else?
Yeah, definitely. So that's it. Encourage yourself and encourage somebody else for sure.
Yeah, don't stay stuck. Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I put a note in the comments to contact you through via Facebook at Soberholics. Is that okay?
Yeah. Or just find me direct, Claire Louise Owen.
Claire Louise Owen.
Just on Facebook, you can get me direct or on through my Soberholic page.
Okay. Put that. Claire. Put that in there. Claire Louise Owen. Okay. On Facebook. Brilliant. Right. Okay. So thank you so much. It's been great. I'll give you any feedback, and the girls, whoever comes on here, can contact you direct themselves. They don't need to come through me. They've got your details now. So I wish you every success, and thank you for coming on Talk Tuesday.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you.
Hi guys. Well, thank you very much for listening tonight. Thanks for everybody that come on and got involved. It means an awful lot, not just to me, but the people I bring on here. We're just trying to spread messages to help you live a better life, become healthier, become happier, to just do things differently, or just to simply educate. So if any of you find what Claire said tonight of interest in, and you feel it may help you or somebody else, please share this video when it's up, and contact Claire direct. You've got her information. It's Claire Louise Owen on Facebook, or you can contact her through her Soberholics page. And as always, you know where I am. I'm gonna wish you a blessed evening. And if you are watching on replay, please say #replay. If I can help you in any way, then you know where I am. I love you lots as always, and I will see you again very soon. Love you.